Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today's topic is going to be stop looking at service information. Oh my God. There are so many different times throughout my entire automotive career that there's always at least one, if not two guys that live in front of their computer and they can't seem to just take something apart and put it together. They have to look at the computer and see exactly how it comes apart. It all starts with a fastener. It all starts with a ratchet, a wrench, a socket, taking stuff off, making mistakes, and eventually you'll get better at it. But if you really don't know the location, then yeah, by all means, take a quick glance. Find out where the location is, then run back to the car and start tearing stuff apart to get to it. I think more times than not, a lot of not just starting mechanics, but lifer mechanics that have been in this industry for a long time, kind of use that as their little scapegoat or their little break time, if you will. I think they really just, they look too much into it, okay? Things are pretty much black and white. There's no gray area. There's no weird secret message thing. How people that are flat rate, the real flat raters, and I don't know how many of those are there anymore in the States, but the real flat raters, they learn all the tricks and tips from working on cars over time, from taking stuff off and putting stuff on, from making mistakes or taking things apart that they didn't need to and then finding out, oh, well, I didn't need to take that off. I can get around that the next time, and the next time the car comes in, they're able to just to take it off and they know exactly the little tiny corners that they can cut to take things off without having to take extra stuff off. You look through service information, yeah, they're going to give you a lot of like key tips and suggestions on how you should remove something, but those are engineers. They're not mechanics. They're not there doing the daily grind. They're not there seeing how you can move things or manipulate things or pick something up and put it over here or leave all this stuff connected and still be able to remove the whole entire piece from the car. And I think too many times, like I said, new mechanics and even the seasoned mechanics, they look to service information too much. I myself, I always make the joke with my shop owner, I can't read. That's why you never see me on a computer. I know how to read, okay? But that's the joke that I make with him. He's like, you know, I hardly ever see you come up to a computer. Usually you might ask me for a torque spec or something like that, but I hardly ever see you go to the computer. I'm like, I can't read. That's what I tell him. But realistically, guys, it's just like, okay, I know I need to take off like this intake manifold, or I need to take off this AC compressor. You shine a flashlight down there, you take a look at it, okay, that hose is kind of a little bit in the way, but it gives me just enough room, and it is rubber hose, so I can like pull it a little bit over here and snake this, you know, series of extensions or universals over here, or maybe it'll be easier to get to from underneath with a ratchet wrench than it is to try to get to it from up top, or maybe I can get to it from up top without having to go underneath and take all the splash shields off. Like, you learn all these little things that it just takes a little bit of time. If you took 1 minute, 2 minutes, and just stared at it, just stare at the component you're trying to get to, flashlight around it, look at the components that are blocking your path from being able to get to that component. Realize what it is that you might have to take off or not take off in order to get it done. And then just go for it and tackle it and utilize the tools that you have at your disposal to remove the component. You'll be much more faster and more efficient than the next guy that's on the computer looking up service information going step by step. It's really that easy, guys. I mean, it sounds difficult because it can be overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, I gotta take the front bumper off. What does that entail? I don't know. This is crazy. What the hell is service mode? Service mode is where you have to take the bumper off. I found this out on an Audi. We'll talk about my experience with European cars in another video, but you have to take the front bumper off. So what do? Well, it all starts with the clips on top. Most of these bumpers are made out of cheap, flimsy plastic that are just like, they just click into each other. They just pop up, they click in, they pop out, no big deal. You take your little trim tool, you pull the little things up, you take all the little tabs out, you remove a couple of 10mm bolts, you remove the inner wheel wells, pull them back, look through, make sure there's no electrical connectors if there are, unplug them real quick, take off the little surrounding shrouds that's holding it together, lower the car down, and then lightly and gently kind of pull back on the outer fender, and it should just pop loose and come right off. Done. Easy greasy. Didn't have to go to service information to tell you what fasteners to take off. Just jump on it and do it. I'll give you an example. We had one unnamed mechanic at the shop / technician, and he was trying to figure out how to get to the light bulb, and you can see that it was behind the fender. He wasn't sure how he could get to it without racking the car, and he wasn't sure how he can get it done easier. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I can show you the fastest way possible to get to it. And he goes, well, I don't know. And he spent about a good 10 or 15 minutes on the computer trying to look up service information to figure out how to get to it. And when he came back, I was like, you want to know how to do it the fast way? He's like, if you know. And I was like, cool. All you gotta do is rack the car, put it in the air, take a few of these little clips off of the inner fender shroud, pull it down, reach your hand up in there, twist, pull it out, pull the bulb out, you're done. Yeah, I was afraid I was gonna have to rack it. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. You've been doing this longer than I have. You spent just as much time on that computer looking up service information on how to get to the bulb than I did having to actually do the bulb. I could have had it apart and together faster than you would have been logged on and logged off of service information. So that's what I mean, guys. Don't just stop looking at it, okay? Start looking at the car, stop looking at the computer, put your hands in there, get greasy, get dirty, get down, man. Get down. This is what you signed up for. This is the kind of job and profession you chose to do. It's about taking stuff apart, putting them back together as efficiently as possible in the shortest amount of time possible. So if you feel like you're going too slow or whatever, then most of that you need to start thinking about, well, why am I going too slow? Am I spending too much time on this? Or is it just me not really knowing where the component is or how to take it off? If you don't know and you haven't been around long enough to know where certain components are, yeah, ask. You can probably ask somebody and get faster information from asking somebody than going onto the computer and looking up a how-to repair video on how to take it apart. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Hope it helps. Deuces.